So, as we always do at the beginning of the show, cheers to all and welcome to everyone. Thank you all. Cheers.
Cheers.
And as I always like to do, I let people know what we're drinking. So tonight, Kraken rum. It's a good standard go-to. For those of you that know anything about rum, it is a good rum. And
that's what I'm drinking tonight.
And my guest in studio and I, we're drinking some fruit juices. You want some of this rum in there? There you go. Of course he does. So we're drinking a little of the Kraken in the fruit juice because, well, it just makes it go down even smoother. So,
Pirate's Life.
Pirate's Life, that's it. So let me introduce our guest for those that don't know who it is right now. Down in the bottom left-hand screen, or on my bottom left-hand screen, is the Seawolf Privateers captain and the first mate. Right?
Aye.
Right, all right. Which we all know that the first mate actually runs things, so there you go. That's Katie and Tim, and they are part of the Seawolf Privateers, and they have a big event coming up in February that some of us on this show are actually part of, so we're helping them out a bit. That's Max, letting everybody know that he's here, and eventually he'll probably stop. I see Scarlett Deerhart and Ransom Mayhem and Zachary Harker and Ken Smith are all on the show. And then sitting right here next to me, many people know him as the food truck vendor, Captain Scallywag. And he joined our show, or he joined our crew this last year. And we actually really know him as William Venanzio. But he's kind of pulled back off the food truck for now.
Yes.
But he's the one responsible for our food for Saturday night's meal, and we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But before we get any further, as we always like to do, we need to tell everybody how to find us. YouTube channel. You can scan that right there and go to our YouTube channel and be a part of what we're doing. Captain's Quarters Podcast every Monday night at 8 o'clock. And yes, Max, we know you're there. So, scan that. Follow us, hit the like, hit the bell. You'll get reminders and be a part of everything we do. And we look forward to having you be a part of our show. We have a lot of subscribers. We've actually jumped up a few more numbers. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Let's see. And after telling you how to find us, it's always our respectful part of the show. We just started this about a month and a half ago, and we continue to do it because lots of people have made good comments about it. So we will now start with Ship's Bell, the 8 bells. Ladies and gentlemen, David Crosby passed away just the past couple of days. And, well, you know, everybody knows him. Crosby, Stills and Nash, the Byrds. You can't not hear rock and roll music from the 70s and the 80s and not know who Crosby is. David Crosby passed away this past week. Gina Lola Brigida. I did not know this, but boy, was she something else. An Italian actress, a photojournalist, and a politician. She was one of the highest profile European actresses from the 50s and early 60s, a period in which she was an international sex symbol. Oh my gosh, was she ever? And I'm telling you that from my childhood. At the time of her death, she was among the last high-profile international actors from the golden age of Hollywood cinema. And Lucille Random DC, also known as Sister Andre. she passed away, and she was 118 years and 340 days old, which means that she was just shy by a month of making it to 119. She is the oldest verified living person since 19th of April 2022, and we mourn their passing and pass respects to their family and their friends. So, ladies and gentlemen,
hold it.
What's that? You got another one? Oh, we got 3 more. I'm sorry. Let's see. Richard Pressman, an American film producer and founder of the production company Edward R. Pressman Films. Boy, look at all those credits. I think I will not try to read them. I see a couple that I know, though. Talk Radio, The Hand. Wow, look at all those credits. We'll just let it go at that. Christopher Joseph Ford, an American professional basketball player and head coach nicknamed the Mad Bomber. Ford played most of his NBA career with the Detroit Pistons before finishing his career with the Boston Celtics. Ford is a member of the Celtics. As a member of the Celtics, made the very first official three-point shot in NBA history. And then you have Don Camburn, film editor, California, obtained AKA in Mink from UCLA. Camburn, this is what you get for not reading the things ahead of time, isn't it, Davey? I can barely see him because it's a little small. We may have to start figuring out how to make it a bit bigger. But he was most noted for his film editing processes and notoriety. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's 6. Is there any more, or is that 6 is enough?
No, that's it.
All right, very good. So now we do 8 bells.
Now we can do the 8 bells.
Thank you, Davey. Always good to do those. And we do those because celebrities of all kinds are part of our history, ladies and gentlemen. And this show is about history. So we like to show off a little bit with that. We also will be doing an 8 bells on Saturday night's performance at the Old City Pirate Festival to recognize some of the pirates that have passed along in our past here. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, Davey has the quote of the week. There are some things that money can't buy, like manners, morals, and integrity. Oh, that's a good one. Who said it, though?
There was no name on it. It just...
Definitely not me.
Yes.
Very good. I like that one. Money can't buy manners. You're absolutely right. And how about question of the week for later on in the show? Ren fairs, Pirate Fest, or any similar outdoor event. What's your favorite part? What do you like? You like the food? You like the entertainment? You like the vendors? You like spending money? What's your favorite part? Let's see during our time when we do the looking all the questions. We'll see what happens. See the answers we have. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're combining our sections on crew adventures and our guests, all combined into one area because we're talking about 2 major events that are on the horizon. Pardon me. The first one, Old City Pirate Fest. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, Old City Pirate Fest, January 27th, 28th, and 29th is on there, but 29th is mostly just a takedown day. But we want to talk to you a little bit about that. So let us tell you about some of the things going on. There it is. So from 7:30 to 9:30 on Friday night, we have Cool Breeze. That's our camaraderie party. It's just a party because it says 4 to 7 as initial setup, but many of the vendors and myself and some of the pirates, we will still be setting up all through the evening. So we just have this great party that other people can come in and listen to the music. The bar will be set up and people can drink. Once the bar is set up, even us pirates are going to drink while we're even setting up everything. You can still get a few tickets to that, but all tickets for the entire event close at midnight Wednesday night. Saturday from 10 to 5:30, Family Day with vendors, non-stop entertainment at the quarterdeck ship, and history, games, and of course fun for the entire family. This is our 5th year, ladies and gentlemen. We even have something new that we tried once but are reviving it, and it's going strong now, and that's Authors Row. We have about 5 to 8 authors who, some of them are local, they write books, and we're giving them a free spot to display their books, talk about their books, sell their books if they want, and get people in the know of what they are writing. Some of them are family books, some of them are children's books. My good friend Matt Frick, who's the curator of the Pirate and Treasure Museum, will be there with his books. He's written 1 pirate book and 3, I guess you would call them kind of like spy novels. So he'll be there, plus a couple of others, and be watching our website. And then, of course, 6:30 Saturday evening. Oh, before I go to the Saturday evening, at 4:30 we start rounding up everybody to take a very special trolley ride. Tickets can be found also on our website, which is wmayhemproductions.com. The trolley ride is special because only pirates, only guests of our pirate festival can go. And last 2 times we did it, Rusty Cutlass, the band, they actually went on board and played music and sang songs. So you got pirates going through the entire streets of St. Augustine on a special pub or special trolley run, and it's just for everybody to have a good time. I myself have never had the chance to go on it. But being the captain, I have to stay back and make sure everything else is taken care of. But there'll still be some tickets available during the day, and the town crier will be responsible for selling those tickets. So we'll make sure that's taken care of. Now on to the big night. Ladies and gentlemen, the big night. Saturday, 6:30 to 10:30. Ticketed event, $60 for the night. It is a concert and dinner. Here's one of the best parts, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time of any pirate festival in the history of St. Augustine that not 1 but 2 major pirate bands are actually sharing the stage that night. Our good friends Rusty Cutlass, the Disney Pirate Band, and our even good friends also Tom Mason and the Blue Buccaneers. You can't get any better than that, plus a dinner. Even Red Buttons didn't get it that good. Some of you will know that joke down the road. Before we go any further though, Mr. Davey, I did a quick spot for Beach 105 this morning, and they start playing it tomorrow, but we get a free hearing of the whole thing. If you want to pop it up there, let's see if we can hear it.
All right.
The voice of St. Augustine.
On with Captain William Mayhem, and we're going to talk Pirate Fest. This is coming up on the weekend. We're getting down to it. Tell us everything we need to know about Pirate Fest.
Old City Pirate Fest. On the grounds of the Colonial Quarter, the major event is for families at 10 a.m. on Saturday, running all the way up until 5 o'clock with games and history. We even have Authors Row, local authors with their books. We have pirates. We have entertainment on the stage in front of the huge ship on the colonial grounds. And it's just a fun day. Even the St. John County Humane Society will be there with a pet adoption, we're hoping. And it's just a whole lot of fun. And there's also going to be vendors selling off their wares and just a lot of fun.
The work you do in the area with the history and the pirating and all that, it's just part of the pure magic that is St. Augustine to me.
You can't go anywhere else in the entire United States without enjoying pirates like we do here in St. Augustine. That's always a good thing. I mean, there might be a few other cities that you could enjoy pirates and reenactors the way we do, but St. Augustine is solid on it. Really solid.
So on the weekend, what is the best way that people can get more information about this and make sure they have what they need to get in the gates and enjoy Pirate Fest?
Go to www.wmayhemproductions.com. wmayhemproductions.com has tickets, has info, has a list of the entertainers, the 2 Friday night events, the camaraderie party on Friday evening, the dinner and doubleheader concert. And I do have to brag about the concert on Saturday night. We have 2 bands. We have Rusty Cutlass, the Disney World Pirate Band, sharing the stage with Tom Mason and the Blue Buccaneers out of Nashville. But he is a internationally known pirate band. So for the first time in any part of history of St. Augustine, we have 2 known pirate bands playing on the same stage in one night. Never been done before.
I've never even heard the term pirate band. That should be exciting to see.
It's sea shanties and some of it even modern music brought down to the level of sea shanties and pirate music. About 3 hours. We also have a dancer on stage. My good friend Gina Marie from Ancient City Sirens Pirate Female Crew. She'll be doing a little bit of belly dancing on there. She is a world-renowned belly dancer across the world. And he will be doing a little bit of entertainment there. We have some raffles going on. to help raise money for our charities, which is very important that people understand. All the profit from this Pirate Festival, we give to charities locally here in St. Augustine.
That's so awesome. And we hear that all the time from almost all the crews around town. It's just great what you guys do, not just entertainment-wise, but giving back to the community. Now, Captain William Mayhem, we appreciate your time, and we should make this a regular thing because I know you're doing things throughout the year.
We are. Besides the Captain's Quarters podcast that I run every night, or every Monday night at 8 p.m., we're looking at a Midsummer Night's Dream Summer Pirate Renaissance Party. We're looking at our Spooktacular, which we did for the first time on the grounds of the Colonial Quarter last year and was so successful, we're doing it again. We turned the entire Colonial Quarter into a Halloween display haunt, family friendly. And of course, then we'll be at the Celtic Festival this year. That's in March. And our toy drive every Christmas, November and December, our toy and family community support drive that helps us raise money for the families that are in need during the holiday time.
I'm kind of laughing here because you and I are Facebook friends, and I watch what you do, and it's like, do you ever sleep?
I have many people that wonder if I do, and it is, I do once in a while, about every 3 days, and I sleep about 6 hours, so it averages about 3 to 4 hours a night. That's about it.
Wow, you've heard of banker's hours? Those are pirate hours right there.
That's it. As I tell everybody, hey, I'm a pirate. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
There you go. Captain William Mayhem, man. Pirates Fest is coming up this weekend. It's going to be a big deal, and we'll get the link on our Facebook page, and we'll podcast all of this, and hope to see you soon, my friend.
I appreciate it very much, especially for the support you've given us so we can give support to others. Thank you.
We're honored to get on the phone with us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was what I did this morning. I am going to be very honest with my listeners, everybody that was listening and paying attention. That was much more smoother than it actually went when we were talking. That man is a god when it comes to editing, I can tell you that. Because there were a few flubs in there that I went, crap. But he fixed it up nice. He cleaned it up nice. He made me He made me sound good. So let's show you one other thing here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll show that later in the video time, Mr. Davey. We'll show that in the video time. So that's what we've got going on for Old City Pirate Festival, and that's one of the reasons we have William here. So, William, you are the ship's galley master.
Yes, indeed.
That's your title.
I am the St. Augustine Swashbucklers' very own galley master.
And for background information for people, you are from where?
Well, I was born in Venezuela.
There you go.
But I lived all my life in Miami, Florida. So if I'm from anywhere,
it's Miami.
It's Miami.
But because of your South American Venezuelan heritage, you know about the history of pirates in that area.
Indeed.
Because we've had a few conversations.
Yes, indeed. Venezuela was an intrinsic part of pirate history, believe it or not. The British and the Spanish were fighting each other for the city of Maracaibo. In that process, the city of Maracaibo fell to pirates, and it was a pirate city all the way to the independence movement in the 1830s. And believe it or not, part of the American independence movement, along with the South American and Venezuelan independent movement, was supported by piracy in some form or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where, I guess, even to this day, if you consider smuggling, if you will consider the doctrine and smuggling a form of piracy, even though they're not hijacking ships from each other, but it's smuggling. It's a form of the logistics process of what the pirates were trying to achieve, which was to make trade outside of the empire's systems of economics. Even to this day, Venezuela is a big hub for that.
Yes.
And so is Miami.
Miami also. So, but your specialty and your love is food and cooking.
Yes, it is.
And that's really how we met, because you have a food truck labeled Captain Scallywags, and You actually have the Swashbuckler logo on it now.
Indeed.
You
Indeed.
did, because
Ever
when you
since
became a part of our crew.
Yes.
And so William Venanzio, as we just call him William, or the ship's galley master. It's much easier.
Yeah.
But your wife's a member, and then you have 3 children.
Yes.
And they are a part of us. So they help when William is doing the food for some of our events. The children are there as servers and preppers and doing whatever else. So let's talk about the food for Saturday night. What are we having? I know I asked you specifically because I really like this, and I also, when I try to put events together, I always try to come up with ideas where food is generally easy to take care of.
Absolutely.
And so we're doing paella.
Indeed. So paella, it will be more of a pirate rice, if you will, because paella is a very particular dish according to the people that came up from it in Valencia, Spain. But in our side of the world, rice with things, as the Spanish call it, we call it paella. Paella is, to us, is a yellow rice boiled in with seafood. You could use parts of whitefish, and you could also use shrimp. You could use bigger. It's a form of crayfish. It's like a small lobster, but it's not a crayfish. They call it gambas.
Yes.
So you could use those, and it will be accompanied with. Typically, it will be accompanied with a garnison of chopped onions with peppers and carrots. What makes paella different from all the varietals of Spanish rices,
right,
is that the color is derived, instead of annatto, which is the typical coloring agent that most of the Latin and Spanish rices use, it's derived of saffron. So you make a process by which you get the saffron to make an oil and diffuse the color, and that gives it a very particular flavor, along with the other Mediterranean spices.
Now, the first thing that some people may be saying as they're listening to this is, because William said seafood, shrimp, and whitefish, and a few other things. And we know that there are a lot of people that are not partial to seafood. So William is making 2 separate batches. He's making the somewhat traditional seafood.
Yes.
But you're also doing another one that's going to have ham and chicken in it.
Ham and chicken in it.
And so that'll be more for those that are not into the seafood. So we have 2 varieties, but you have some other things that are going to be going with this.
Yes. One of the particularities, and really Captain Scalawags, I'm not Captain Scalawags.
No.
When I opened my food truck, I was aspiring to be part of a pirate crew, and I know pirate crews have their own captains. And since I'm just a mere lowly, humble cook, I would never aspire to be a captain, God forbid. Instead of raiding, I will be feeding the enemies. We can't be doing that.
No, and you know what? I don't remember what the saying is, and if Davey's up on his fingers there on the keyboard, somebody made a statement or a quote ages and ages ago, and I believe it was Hannibal, believe it or not. I could be wrong, but it has something to do with the fact that an army marches on its stomach.
Indeed.
And so having a chuck wagons during cattle drives, cooks during your military time of the Civil War, sometimes those are the most wanted, respected people, because if you have good food, you have good attitudes.
Indeed.
It's very important.
Yeah, the crew was happy last year when they were fed by Captain Scalawags in the Celtic Festival.
Yes.
And of course, last year we did the
Order of Leviathan.
The
You
Order of
provided the
Leviathan.
food for the Order of Leviathan also.
And the crew was really happy. So with that in mind, there's some particular dishes that Captain Scalawags brought to the market, because Captain Scalawags is really the first net pirate themed food truck or food establishment that we could, at least I think we conceived in Florida. Basically, the dishes are called pirate things, and they're made inspired by what pirates will want to eat. So pirates will have this dish where they will fry dough.
Yep.
And actually sailors most of the time they will fry dough, And I have a dish called cheesy timbers, which is a roll of dough fried with cheese inside of it. It's like a gist on the empanada, because it's and the mozzarella stick is
or for some people they would know it more as a cheese stick.
As a cheese stick.
But
yes.
but you're doing it a little more differently.
Yes, it's done a little more different. It's inspired by the Venezuelan tequeño, which is a Venezuelan staple. We will also have the hornigo plantains. The hornigo plantains are plantains with molten cheese on top of them, and it's basically it's sort of like a plantain cake, and it's covered with cheese. For those of us who want to try the stronger cousin of the banana. We will also have the pirate greens, which is our side salad, and we will have it's a drinking party, so we have to have a cheese board with some charcuterie for those of us who want to pass the drinks and
absolutely
and have fun.
So as you can hear, we haven't really advertised what the dinner is for Saturday night, because I kind of wanted to keep it a secret, because I knew that it was going to be something fantastic. And this is going to be one of the best pirate dinners that have been provided for any of these festivals that are coming up. So it's going to be great. Everybody's going to enjoy it. We have 145 tickets sold. We have made plans for 150, so we can fudge it a little bit here and there. And I've already paid this man half of his money, and we're in good shape. It's going to be a lot of fun. So those of you that don't show up, there will be no tickets at the door, by the way, for dinner. None. We will not have any tickets available at the door for dinner. Please pass that along to all your friends. Ticket sales stop Wednesday at midnight. There will be no ticket sales for dinner after that. Now, between midnight on Wednesday and Saturday night, if I know that we have a few tickets left, they will be available at the door, but that's premium. And you know us pirates, we're all about the money, right? That premium ticket might cost you just a little bit of extra, but know this, if you're paying a little bit extra, that money is going towards our charity. And that's important, because that's what we're doing it for. And Davey, just real quick, throw up if you can pop it up, throw up our charity board real quick that we normally do at the end of the week or at the end of the show. See, I can't even remember what's going on. All right.
And your question, it was Napoleon was the first one that said that.
Napoleon said it. Well, thank you. I thought it was Hannibal, but I guess Napoleon would be quoted. Okay, so
It's just as bad.
just as bad. So I missed it by a short bit.
Which you want our charities?
I mean, it was like 1,000 years.
Okay, that's a Napoleon
they're
joke.
just bad.
Yeah, a Napoleon joke. So very good. I knew Davey would.
It's a little bit of smaller.
I got your joke. I thought it
A
was
little
good
smaller
joke.
bad guy. And I knew Davey would find it. He's always quick with doing that, so that's really good. So, ladies and gentlemen,
charities?
our charities. We give out money to Inc. They will actually get a check after this. Money will be set aside in our charity account for St. Augustine Youth, because what we like to do is save up the money and add to it, and then provide them with something for Christmas. And then the Humane Society. They're doing a pet drive or a pet adoption, hopefully. I haven't heard from them today. I'll check on them tomorrow. But we might also want to make sure we give them some money to buy some extra food for everybody that's there over at every pet that's over at the Humane Society. So those are our charities, ladies and gentlemen. And as we've stated, it's on our website. Once the event's paid for, all the money goes to the charities, goes into our charity account, and that's what we use it for. So that's Old City Pirate Fest in a 20-minute nutshell. How about that? A 20-minute nutshell. But we're not done yet, because patiently sitting there, I know that Captain Scabbard has eyeballs painted on his eyelids, so it looks like he's still awake, just like Jack Sparrow. But we have another event coming up. Now, first, before I go to their event, take that down a minute.
No, I like that.
I know, I like it too. But we do need to give them credit for one other thing. They are part of Old City Pirate Festival this year. They are a huge part of Old City Pirate Festival. They have become our sister brother crew to work Pirate Festival. They will be running all the games for the children, and they are going to have a popcorn booth. Ooh. And which will be very appropriate, they are going to have a hot chocolate booth this weekend, and I'm pretty sure you're going to make a lot of money on the hot chocolate booth because it's going to be cold.
Now warm that belly.
We might, depending on the temperature, we might end up having to have Kraken chowder.
Yeah, we might have to.
Yes,
absolutely.
The Kraken chowder might come.
All right,
you got my money already.
Yes,
because if it's too hot, people don't eat it.
So, you're going to make sure you have plenty of hot chocolate, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you have the ways and means to heat it up?
Aye.
You got everything you need, right?
I got the grill and burners. We're ready.
All right, very good. So I'd be prepared because Saturday's going to be a big day. Now, what we may want to do, and this is just talking off the cuff, once the daytime is done, whatever your booth is that you do for hot chocolate, we may want to bring around to the other side of the field because some people may want chocolate. And I know that hot chocolate and rum taste really good.
Yes, it does.
It does. So you may want to do that too and make a little extra money. Because if I remember right, Captain Mayhem and Captain Scabbard made a monetary deal that Captain Mayhem is going to get a percentage.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right? It's that way. It's the way of pirates. So, the more you can sell, the happier I'll be.
Sounds good.
So, now let's put up that other one, Mr. Davey. The Seawolf Privateers are doing another murder mystery. Their last one was so successful that they had to try to do it again, and even so successful that they're doing an entire weekend, a nighttime show on Saturday, and a Sunday afternoon matinee type show, I would call it. It's called Who Killed Jolly Roger? Now, if you look in that picture, there's a few people that might actually look familiar. There's Davey Longwood playing the part of Jolly Roger. But you know what? I shouldn't be doing this part. Let me turn it over to you, First Mate, and you do the talking.
Go for it, First Mate. Roll away.
All right. Well, I just want to back up for half a second and thank you, Captain Mayhem, for including us and the Seawolf Privateers in your Old City Pirate Fest this weekend. We really appreciate,
for sure.
The joint efforts of both of our crews to help you pull that off. So,
well, we've had a couple of joint efforts. Those joint efforts have made our event successful, yours and ours. And in the history of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, for me, owning it or having it since 2009 or 10, so we're talking about 13, 14 years, I've only had one event that was in the red. One. Every event has always been in the black. Even if it's only in the black by $10 or $15 or $20, it's still a success.
Aye, it is.
So all of our events, though, that we worked on, we did, because your major charity is for foster children in the Flagler County area, but you're not limited to Flagler County because you do help a few other counties around the way.
Yes.
correct.
So, on top of that, I adore having you guys as part of our crew and the things that we do. It works out very well. You have some really good crew members, and let's talk about your play.
I wrote it out, Kitty.
All right, so our murder mystery dinner show fundraiser is 2 nights. We're doing Saturday, February 11th and Sunday, February 12th. What you'll have for that ticket purchase is some entertainment by Captain Mayhem, as well as the Ancient City Sirens, which is Gina and her girls that are going to be dancing. Then you'll see the whole murder mystery show and find out what happens and who kills Jolly Roger. And then you'll also have a full plated dinner from the hall that we're renting. The venue we're using is the VFW here in Palm Coast. And their chef will be preparing either a Caribbean jerk chicken with pineapple salsa and cilantro lime rice, or a vegetarian option, which is a vegetable lasagna. And so that'll be a complete plated dinner that you'll be served. And then we also have several exciting things going on around the room. We've got to have, of course, a silent auction, which has got a wonderful, has just some really great donations that we've gotten already for that setup. There'll be a 50-50 raffle. There will be some different chance games that you can play throughout the room and win some bottles of rum and a variety of liquors. And then we'll also be just everyone there will hear a little bit more about what we do as a crew and who we raise our money for. And then, which is the foster kids, like we said earlier, primarily here in Flagler County, but we do, stretch out a little bit further than our own county because we certainly can never not help a person or a child in need for sure. So all of those things are going to come together. We've got Davey playing Jolly Roger, Captain Jolly Roger for us.
Yeah, I've often wanted to kill him, so this will be a good one.
Oh, no. We've got Captain Mayhem, of course, playing our Lord Mayhem, who is our inspector, who's going to help everybody figure out who did it. And then we have Captain Scar from the pirate store in St. Augustine. He's also one of the captains in our show, as well as Captain Scabbard and myself, and another one of our Seawolf Privateers, Anne Marie. So we're excited. We've been working on it for a while. We're excited about it. It's all kind of coming together as we kind of get close to that performance date. And we've sold about we've sold 63 of the 100 tickets for Saturday night, and we probably have about 60 tickets left for Sunday. But I've had a whole bunch of inquiries yesterday and today about what the food is and all the questions people have. So we're expecting to sell out both shows.
I hope you do sell out both shows, and I think you probably will. I have to tell you, I went to the first one that you did last year, and I like this one much better than the first one you did.
Me too.
It's I like the concept of it, and without giving away too much of the story, you have 5 captains. They've had a disagreement with one of them, and I don't want to give too much of that away because there's some comedy in all of that. When I first heard that business deal, it just made me laugh my head off. So these 5 captains are in an argument over money, gold. That's the first 3 scenes. The end of the 3rd scene, there's an introduction of Lord Mayhem, the Inspector General, so to speak. The best part I like about this show, that you're allowing me to use my talent, the whole 4th act has 4 different possibilities. Mm-hmm. That's what makes this whole thing very interesting. There's 4 different outcomes of this show. But the best part for me, and those that know what I've done in the past as far as comedy clubs and magic shows and everything else, almost the whole 4th act is completely improv.
It is.
And it gives me the opportunity. Yes, I know you don't like my acting either. It gives me the opportunity to have some fun, and I've already written some jokes that I tried out on everybody the other day about each of the captains, and I'm still working on stuff. So it's a really cool possibility of a play, and you stop. Yes, you. So I think, and this is, and maybe I shouldn't say this in a public venue, but I think that this is a play that you should do on a regular basis. And in fact, we're going to talk to you down the road about another idea.
Yeah,
so,
we actually, the gentleman that wrote this, the playwright for this show, he actually has really taken a liking to our organization and who it is that we help and what we're doing, and he has made a wonderful deal with us to help us out in the future. He is actually in the midst of writing another another play for us to do, another murder mystery for the fall of this year. So
very good.
It's just super exciting to have somebody with those kinds of talents because, like you said, this is a great show. It's written really well, and we're really going to have a good time with it. And the audience is going to love it because it's got, music and laughter and a murder. And so you get a little bit of everything.
Poor Davey, yes. Yeah, and since it said who killed Jolly Roger, we're not giving away anything there because obviously Jolly Roger is the one that's killed. But now you have to figure out amongst the other 4 captains who actually did it. But the other good part about it is that the audience is part of the decision-making process.
Right.
So the audience is involved in it.
Yes.
That makes it a lot of fun. There's only 100 tickets available for each show?
That's correct.
Aye.
And you sold about 60 for each show, right? So you're about 60% for each show.
We have a few
That's really good because you've got only 3 weeks away, and I'm pretty sure that, and we need to make sure that we talk about the show on the next couple of podcasts, give you some more plugs, and make sure people know. And
what usually happens is they get down to the end and they wait till the ship sails, and then we start getting a bunch of emails and responses asking for those extra tickets. Well, I missed it. Yes, you did.
No, Olivia, this weekend is Old City Pirate Festival. The murder mystery is February 11 and 12. Is that right?
Aye.
February 11 and 12.
Right, and you can get tickets on our website, which is seawolfprivateers.org. And if you want to go directly to the page with the tickets, it's /fundraisers. But you can certainly go just to seawolfprivateers.org, click on the tab at the top of the page, or the banner that says Who Killed Jolly Roger, and it'll take you right to the page where there's more information and tickets available.
If you have tickets at the door, will they be more expensive?
There will not be any tickets at the door.
Gosh, you have a chance to really hold them over the barrel.
Sorry. Well, I know that we'll be sold out before that.
Oh.
Well, that's a good way to be, is to know that you'd be sold out.
Yeah, last year for our last show.
That's the only way of selling out.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
we
don't
had
want to sell out any other way.
No. I mean, we had the same problem. We had the same problem with tickets for the dinner show or the dinner and the band for Saturday night, October, for Old City Pirate Fest. Until last week, it was very mild. And I kept telling the crew, we've got 60 tickets to sell. I think it started with, we got 70 tickets to sell. Then it was, we got 60 tickets to sell. And then when I decided on Friday night that we were going to close everything down at midnight on Wednesday, and I put a post out there that we were less than 45 tickets, and that there would be no tickets at the door, then people started buying tickets up all of a sudden.
right.
And there's some people don't understand, and you're in the same situation. So we're presenting this information to people so they understand. We're not trying to sell the tickets in advance because we just want to relax and have it be a success, which is a part of it. But the other part of it is this: for like Old City Pirate Fest, if I sell all the tickets in advance, then I don't have to worry about having any of my crew sit at the gate and worry about taking tickets and money. It's all done already. On top of that, like tonight, I had to give this fine gentleman 50% money.
Yeah, some vendors need to get paid ahead.
And vendors need to get paid ahead. You know, the bands have to be paid on. Bands show up and they want their check before they play, because if they don't get their check, they won't play. Now, I've never had a band ever try to do that to me, but I've also been successful enough with all my events that we have the money to pay everybody. So everything on the days of the event is all charity and profit money. So it's not just because we want to be done and know that it's a successful event. I want to make sure I get the money to pay everybody, but I also don't want to have to deal with people coming to the door and having my own crew sit there at the gate and having to pay the bill.
Right. They can be entertained.
It's just not fair to them. They get to participate too, and they get to enjoy the evening, and that's it. We're going to close the door. Now, if there's some people that want to come to the event on Saturday night, in our situation, it doesn't necessarily work for you, but if they want to come on Saturday night, an hour after the gates, and they want to come in, they're not coming in for free. because that would be terribly unfair to everybody else. And I've had people try to do that before. Well, you serve the food. I just want to come in and listen to the music.
Mm-mm.
So I give you a free ticket. What is that telling all the people that bought a ticket?
Aye, that's right.
They could have waited.
They could have waited. They could have waited and gotten free too. So there's no such thing as a free ticket for me.
Nope.
None. And people think that's a hard ass
No,
way
it's
to
not.
be, but it's not.
No.
It's fair to the people that are building the event. It's fair to the charities you're trying to raise money for. But it's also fair to those people that were at least professional and considerate enough to buy a ticket in advance because they want to go, and you didn't. So if you want to come in, if you come to the gate and you want to come in and drink at the bar and watch the music, your ticket's not going to be any cheaper.
Right. And well,
It's
in
just-
our, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Our event is actually the weekend just before Valentine's. Valentine's is a Tuesday, and our event is Saturday and Sunday. So I know as people start looking for things to do that weekend, and you know, where are they going to go, and how are they going to celebrate? We have a perfect opportunity as well. So I know as we get closer to that date, it's going to get busier, and ticket sales are just going to go fast. At our last murder mystery last year, we had a waiting list of 40 people because everybody wanted tickets and couldn't get the 100 tickets we had for the show. So that's why we chose 2 days this time.
Everybody in the United States of America is taking on a Spanish mentality, mañana.
Yeah.
Mañana.
Procrastination.
Procrastination
Yeah.
at its best. So, I mean, and when you're doing an event like you're doing an event, if you make it to the 60 or the 70% mark, you know that it's going to be a success, and you can relax about it, but you still don't want to give, freebies out to everybody.
No.
Now the guy that, this is one of the ways I give freebies. So the guy that called me up this morning and said, hey, and he's friends of mine on Facebook. So he's from Beach 105 Radio. He said, hey, and they've already been doing a plug spot for the Pirate Festival for the last 3 weeks. I didn't know it, but I kept getting people telling me about it.
Wow.
So he did something for me without me asking. So when he called me this morning and said, hey, can I call you up? Let's do a recording and then we'll start playing it for the rest of the week. I said, sure. And so he called me up. And the nice thing about doing a recording via the phone, I didn't have to worry about getting dressed up.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But once he did it, then I said, hey, I got to thank you. So how do you thank somebody like that? So I told him, what's your wife and what are you and your wife doing Saturday night? He said, we don't have any plans. I said, you're now my guest to come and have dinner with us.
Nice.
So that's a pair of comp tickets that I'm not eating the money. That value of those 2 comp tickets is not as much as the value he gave me in the advertising.
Well, you
That's true.
try to pay some radio time to.
Yeah, so basically we're telling thank yous.
Yeah.
And same with some of the hotel people that have helped me out. Same with some of the sponsors, they've jumped in. So we give away certain tickets for it. But if you're waiting till the last minute and you think you're going to get a $25 ticket to come in and hang out with a bunch of pirates, think again.
Nope.
And my crew, I've already with my crew had an online conversation of what we think we should do if we have people show up. And so it's pretty well been set. So when you're doing an event like you're doing an event, you have to be mindful to make it successful, because if your dinner theater did not go well last year, you wouldn't be doing this one now.
Right.
They propagate on each other. So that's very important. So people watching the show, they need to, hopefully most of them understand, especially when you're doing a show like you're doing a show, or we're doing Old City Pirate Festival, where nobody's getting any money.
That's right.
It's being done for the good of the community.
Yes.
So anybody that wants to argue with me about ticket prices, there's no argument.
No.
None. And what you guys are doing, and I've been batting this in my head back and forth, Tim, so I'm going to, Captain Scabbard, Tim, I know you as Tim, I'm going to throw you under the ship a little bit. Yeah. There's a big reason why you're adamant about doing helping foster families.
Aye, there is.
Do you want to share that?
Yes, that's fine. I didn't have any children, so I felt like the world needed someone to fill in those gap of the hundreds of thousands of children that do not have homes for many reasons. The list could go on for hours. So my two girls, my daughters, and now they're my daughters, were in an adoption group, and I had several children come through my home and in and out for different reasons. And I adopted my two daughters, and they now have children as well as themselves, and are they come out of foster care into my household, and then they were adopted from that point. So it was challenges with great reward. So I enjoyed it, and I look forward and continue to help these kids in any way that we can. Clothing, food, doing the activities. Our big focus for the Seawolves is their mind and their heart, because they've been removed from their family for unknown reasons, and they have missed the opportunity to be a child. So we give them that opportunity and want to expand on that. And then we get to work with the families as well, support their spirit and their mind to keep things going, because it's a lot of people. You got 8 children in your home, it takes a lot of work. So
a lot of love too.
Oh yes, it does.
Well, thank you. That's a great service.
Yes,
That's
and
a great
it's
service, because that's the future. The children are the future.
yes, they are very much so. You're absolutely right, and it's one of the reasons why the St. Augustine Swashbucklers at least provide some financial assistance or some support to St. Augustine Youth Services, because they deal with the children that have been removed from homes.
Mm-hmm.
And as I like to phrase it this way, because it needs an emphasis for people to understand. And the people at St. Augustine Youth Services, they have said, okay, that's kind of cool, don't worry about it, because it may sound pretty abrupt to some people. But I tell people, St. Augustine Youth Services are dealing with the children in the first stages of their problems. And that problem is that they've been removed from homes where the parents did not deserve to have children in the first place.
That's true.
And there are lots of families, lots of parents that are like that. They do not deserve to have children. And the children they do have are mistreated or ignored or just, it's terrible. So St. Augustine Youth Services here in St. Johns County, that's the first steps that they're helping with. Mm-hmm. And they have these dormitories and we deal with the boys for the most part. The girls' area is quiet and off limits, and nobody knows really where it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
But we deal with the boys, and we're talking about boys from the age of 5 to 6 years old all the way up to teenagers.
Yeah, but in the same situation, we're also working with children that was not put in foster care or went into foster care, put with relatives, grandparents. So here you have a 60 or 70-year-old grandparent with a 5-year-old child to bring up. So there's a lot of, and they don't get any help. They get nothing. So without our help in doing things with our food drives that's going on, we do that too. So,
we have a garage full of diapers and wet wipes right now.
Yes, we do.
Hey, and that's very important because diapers kind of are important.
Pampers loves us.
What happens is that oftentimes when these foster parents have a child arrive at their door, they come with nothing. So there's always a need for, immediate clothing and diapers and food and backpacks with school supplies and, everything that they would need in that situation to be provided. So we're trying, we started out just with the intention of being a entertainment group where we would just host a few events during the year that would be like a festival type event, but only for the foster kids, their foster parents, and those biological children of those parents, to come together and just be entertained and have a fun free day. That you guys graciously were involved in that as well for us this past August. But so our goal was to do that so that these families could go out and enjoy a day where they can bond together, their kids can be kids, and not have to worry about that being a hardship financially for those foster families, because they've opened their hearts, they've opened their homes, they've taken these children in, but many of them don't get any financial assistance, and the assistance they do get is very limited. It's not nearly enough to cover what the costs of the children, children's needs are. So In that situation, we were like, okay, we're just going to be the entertainers and we're going to provide this exciting, fun festival. And then we were like, what? All these people were coming to us with these other needs. And so now we're doing a weekly food distribution where we give groceries to all the foster families. We're doing diapers and wet wipes that we just all collected today. So we're going to get those out this coming week. So we're kind of just trying to, we started with a small focus and now we're just sort of trying to expand into areas where we see there's a huge need and we can help. So that's,
well, the work you do, and your pirate crew has only been in existence 2 years now, just about 2 years?
Less than 2 years.
1 year. All right.
Yeah, year and a half, almost a year and a half. We were October of 21. So.
Right.
Are you
Sorry.
That's something else that people don't know. Katie is an avid signer, and she actually brought a family to the Pirate Museum about a month or so ago, and they were almost all deaf, the whole family, and so she rode along. She walked along and through the tour of the Pirate Museum, and while I talked, she signed. So it was a lot of fun for me. So here's one of the things that proves us pirates. We're not like real pirates in the day of the golden age of piracy, although they had a code and they had an honor and they took care of their own, but we're taking care of everybody that we can.
I think we are.
We're doing it for the good of the community, and it's just fun to be a pirate to do it.
Particularly when your organizations, both the Swashbucklers and the Seawolf Pirates, are very deeply involved with these children that are they're helpless. That's the biggest effect of change.
Absolutely.
If children are the future and you guys are helping them, you are helping to reshape the future, at least of this area of the country, which is very important. I mean, we one of the crises that we have with youth nowadays is part of that, and we're hands-on participating in fixing that, and that's amazing. That's a very good cause, and that's one of the reasons why, in conversing with you over the years, I wanted to bring this forth. So thank you guys for having me.
Well, we love having you there, and we love working with the Seawolf Privateers. I'm going to tell you something I just started doing recently at the close of some of my school tours. Not my public tours, but my school tours. I tell the children that there are two people in their lives, two groups of people, so to speak, in their lives, that they should really acknowledge that are very important in their lives. And it's their mother and their father and their teachers. Because teachers are sometimes some of the most important people in our lives. Even at my age of 64 years old, I still remember the names of my first, second, third, and fourth grade teachers. Still remember them because they were influential in your life. They helped start you in your educational thought process, and it's very important. Hi, Maggie. Maggie's stepping up here because she wants to be in the show now. So it's very important that these children get some kind of attention that's in a positive direction, and you're doing just that, and you're doing it by use of your show, which we're proud to be a part of. Davey, Longwood, Captain Mayhem, part of your show. Let's see, 6 characters, so we're 40% of your 35% of your crew. So it's a lot of fun. Is there anything you want to say about everything that's in closing? Because I know that Captain Scabbard, you've had a very, very long day, and you probably like to go ahead and go have a nightcap and lay your head on a pillow and be done with it all. So if there's anything you'd like to say in closing, then we can say goodbye and release you from the hold we have on you to be a part of the show.
It's been a long sail today.
All
Take
right.
my word for it. So I have towed the rope, smashed the hands, and twisted a few screws. And I look forward to us doing this show, and I'm just so excited about everybody coming. This is just big energy for me. So, and all of you guys help do it just with all my heart. And for these children, for Katie and I, at times when we were working really hard, we're like, oh, the next hurdle, somebody towed the line, somebody dropped the anchor, and I'm ready to stop. But you're never ready to stop. You're ready to continue to push forward and be successful and try and pull the communities together. Just as you said, Mayhem, pull the communities together because your community is what you have, and your children are the future. So that's my promise, and that's our letter of march to do so is take care of these kids and these families and drive this future for the day that we're not here. We take the big sail. They will be here to carry on, and we'll hope to do the best and protect and care for the ones that are here and give them some tools to work with to get them forward.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, 2 things before you leave. One thing I'm going to tell you, on Sunday evening, because the event ends Saturday night, and then we, as much of the crew as can possibly be there on Sunday morning to reset the entire field, hopefully by noon. And I even have, because of the fact that we have some school tours, I even have to go do 2 school tours between 11 and 1 o'clock on Sunday. So I've got to be in 2 places at the same time. But then Sunday night, Tom Mason and his wife are staying over till Monday. Mark Miller from Rusty Cutlass is staying over till Monday. Our friends from the Utah Pirates are staying over till Monday. And there may be a couple of other out-of-town pirates, and if any of them are listening to us tonight and they're staying over till Monday, the general plan is this for Captain Mayhem. I will be putting my ass in a chair in front of my fire pit starting at 6 or 6:30 Sunday night with a drink in one hand and a cigar in the other. And Tom Mason and his wife and Mark Miller, they've all said they'd like to come and just sit and relax around my fire. So the Mayhem campfire is open. There is no expectation for any of either myself or Miss Kara to build any food for anybody. If you want anything, bring it yourself. But it's a chance to just sit and socialize with our out-of-town friends who want a chance to relax. And anybody that's listening, including yourselves, if you want to come back into town that evening for an hour or 2 and just sit, there's the invitation to relax and revel in, hopefully, what I will be telling everybody is a good, successful weekend.
Wonderful.
On that note, one other thing before you leave, talking about me being in 2 places at one time, I have actually been able to accomplish that this past weekend. I am in 2 places at one time. Are you ready, Davey?
Yeah.
I was in Orlando this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, recognized by the House of Mouse
Yep,
Con.
House of the Mouse Expo.
Expo, that's right. And I was in 2 places at the same time, and we got international recognition. Mr. Longwood, show it off.
Before the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, I hope to go back. Look at that. They actually have a Jolly Roger in that museum. It's pretty cool. They got some merchandise here set up and some books and all kinds of stuff. Actually, that gentleman gave me my tour one of the last times I was there. That was my tour guide. And I saw the real Jolly Roger like that. It's one of the world's only Jolly Roger flags. I got to see it. So I'm really hoping to go back soon to St. Augustine. And when I do, I'm definitely going here. Got my poster signed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the expo down at Disney World. And one other thing came of it. Cindy and Laura, Cindy is the director of the museum, and Laura is an integral part of everything that we do at the Pirate Museum. And they both went down and were down there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the expo. There was also a booth there with 4 or 5 of the actors from the Pirate of the Caribbean movies. A couple of them you would recognize. Anybody remember the comedy duo, the tall, slender guy with the eyeball and the short, heavy-set guy? They were always the comedy relief. The short one was there. The Mad Bomber in the first one that had the bombs when they were attacking Port Royal, Jamaica, he was there. A couple of the others that I remember, they were there, and they took pictures with Cindy and Laura, and Cindy was telling them about our Pirate Festival this weekend coming up, and they said if the timing was better, they would like to come. But they're not coming this year. But I now have contacts to talk to them. They want to come to St. Augustine. What better way to have them come than to have them come for Old City Pirate Fest 2024? That's my new goal. So we'll see what happens. So, yes, Captain Mayhem has figured out the magic to be in 2 places at one time. I know it's late. I told you guys you could leave before this, way before this. We kept you longer than I wanted to. I apologize, but your information and your event is very important. So In other words, that's me being nice and professional, but I could just say, suck it up.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing you this weekend. I'll send you some private messages on timing for setup and everything. We may be doing a little bit of setup on Thursday night, but the major setup's Friday night. And any pirates that are in earshot of us, if they want to come down and just lend a hand, the more hands we have, the faster it gets set up.
Oh,
that
sure
way,
does.
everybody can sit and enjoy the music of Cool Breeze with Ruben and his buddies for Friday night's camaraderie party. On that note, if you guys want to leave, the door has been open for you, and I thank you very much for being a part of our show tonight. We thank you very much.
Good night, guys. It's wonderful to see you guys again.
Thank you.
Very good. All right. So on that note, Davey, why don't you go ahead and do you have a jib jab?
You know I do.
Of course you do. Play the jib jab. Yeah, you might think that's funny. Pirate Teletubbies, that's a good one. That's an interesting one. Wow, how about that one? So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a good show. And look, I always say, Good job, Mr. Longwood. Good as always. I don't even know. I will say this in a public forum. 2 things. First, I'm trying to get my mouse to come back over there. There it is. And 2 things. Ladies and gentlemen, if it were not for Davey Longwood, this show would not actually work very well, because I don't know a darn thing about technology, and Davey's over there pushing buttons and doing everything, and even during the afternoon, on a Monday afternoon, he'll send me a message and say, hey, I think I got it all wrapped up, we're ready to go. All I have to do is just go in, make some notes, and we're good to go. And Hellfire Henley is a very good part of the show. It's just we can't get him to shut up most of the time. He talks way too damn much.
Listen,
and once in a while we can get a word in edgewise.
Tankard of liquid courage.
There it is. But we've also made some plans that Hellfire Henley is going to be at least 3 times in this year coming up. He's going to do a special show where we've tasked him to do some research on something of history that interests him. Pardon me. Right. And he's going to be that part of the show and show us what he's done, what he's researched, and what he can bring to the show. And he's got 3 chances, and we'll play it like baseball. If he has 3 strikes by the end of 2023, we kick him out.
With a bottle of rum and nothing else to my name.
Aye, there you go. So, Davey, you did a good job, but I guess it's time for us to follow the messages now, right?
Yep.
So I'm all the way back up at the top, I believe, looking at the messages. I see all these people that say hi. Hi, there's Ken Smith. I believe Ken Smith is coming to our Pirate Fest this weekend.
Indeed he is, and he said he's bringing rum, too.
Ah, good. Oh, by the way, I didn't advertise this. Captain Mayhem will have his own private table on Saturday night, sitting there, enjoying things, because I actually honestly believe after all this work, I should be allowed to just sit and enjoy things. Hopefully everything is smooth and worked out. But while I'm sitting at my table, City Gates Distillery has provided me with some coconut rum and some mixer, and I'll be mixing it up. I have these glass shot glasses. I only have about 50 of them. But if you want to come to my table and make a donation of $5, I may make it a little more, but make a donation of $5 or more into the kitty. That money will go directly to Inc., investing in kids this week, and you can have the glass. I will also let you have a taste of my concoction. But I'm not selling that. I'm giving that away. I'm selling the glass. So, ladies and gentlemen, and once those glasses are done, I've already come up with a solution that if I get rid of all 50 of them, I'm going to go and get a whole bunch of miniature solo cups, and we'll do the miniature solo cups down the road. But
so these are the glasses that you are.
Yep.
These are very neat.
They are very neat. I've got about 50 of them. I may try to get another 50 sent into me. I'm going to look and see if I can get them sent here fast enough.
Cool.
But if I can, that'll be
Captain,
100.
Will these also be for sale?
Those will too. That is a Old City Pirate Fest mug. We had those made at the first Old City Pirate Fest, and believe it or not, we have about 40 of them left. So there'll be a hospitality tent in the middle of the field that'll have all the raffles and things going on, and something we didn't talk about, but during the day there's a kids raffle. There's no adult raffle during the day. And the kids raffle is this. Every kid that comes through the gate and buys a $6 ticket to get in gets 1 raffle ticket for free. At the raffle table, or the hospitality tent, we'll have all these prizes. Every 15 or 20 minutes, our town crier will be going through. We're going to pick a number. He's going to call the number. If you happen to be one of the children that has that ticket, and he'll call about 2 or 3 every 15 to 20 minutes. You get to go to the table, take your ticket, prove it's you, and you get to pick anything you want for free. Anything. We've got books, we got games, we got toys, we got all kinds of things. And pardon me, if you feel you need a couple of extra chances, if the children need a couple of extra chances for some extra tickets to do the whole thing, why, we're going to allow some tickets to be sold if you want to buy some also. But that's one of the things we're doing for the kids, and it's free. Every kid gets to have something. Then at night, we have a bottle game, we have a raffle, we have a 50-50, and some of those mugs, like Davey Longwood has one of the mugs, we'll have some of those mugs, and we'll put them up for sale also. All the money goes to covering the event, and I can tell you this, I am most assured that just about all the event is covered. But you didn't hear that from me. Aye. So, let's go down and see some of these here. I'm looking at some of our messages here. Man, it jumped right away from me. Oh, sorry. Captain Mayhem should put his glasses on so he can see what's going on. So we have some Facebook users. I see Ransom Mayhem's there. Scarlett, my son, Will, the historian, made it. I hope he's still online watching. Donna said that Max is trying to eat his feather. Yeah, he probably is. Let's see. Greetings to all. Danelle Everhart. She is part of the crew from the Elks Lodge, the pirate crew from the Elks Lodge, and we'll be doing things with them. They're coming out to support us, and we're talking about doing our Midsummer Nights event in June with the help of them. Nightingale in Florida is on board. Thanks to have you there. Miss Kara Creamer gave the mud a bone. That's good. Zachary Harker is there. Nightingale, Ken Smith. My favorite part is going to them and setting up my cruise camp. Well, that's always a good thing.
I think Max was trying to eat my feather.
Maybe that's what he was doing through the fence there. He's trying to eat the feather.
So
very good.
So Kara gave him a bone.
So Ken Smith says...
That's how delicious I am. Even my hat.
So Ken Smith says something about my first time to OCPF. Is this being held down by the museum on the lawn by the fort? No, it's being held in the Colonial Quarter, which is right next to the museum. We're not allowed to do anything on the grounds of the fort. That's federal property, and they frown upon that kind of thing. They don't want pirates over there.
The last thing I want to be.
Yes. Scarlett Deerhart says, my favorite part of festivals is seeing all my friends who also attend the festivals. You know what? That's a good one, Scarlett. I didn't even think about that one. I see John Chapman is looking forward to the weekend. We look forward to seeing you there. Miss Cece says she wants to ride on the trolley. She's never done it. Taken care of, my dear. Taken care of. Let's come down and see. There we go. Zachary Harker said he saw a frozen mermaid come to Michigan. Well, that was probably entertaining. Let's see. Donna, Ken Smith, the Old City. Oh, she gave the whereabouts of Old City Pirate Fest. Very good. It's nice that the crew is paying attention and catching up on the messages for me. Then I don't have to worry about them. Let's see. Who else is in there? Zachary Harker is in Michigan, and he says, enjoy the 60s for the event. We will have a high of 30-ish. Actually, Zachary, it's looking like we're not going to hit 60 on Saturday. It's looking like we might hit a high of about 57 or 58. I've already started hearing noises from my mermaids. So we're working on enclosing the tent to a point and putting a heater inside so that we have warm mermaids. Olivia O'Toole, Will the Historian. Last Renaissance Fair I went to, I really enjoyed the joust tournament. Yes, Miss Cece went to the Gainesville Hogstown this past weekend to see the jousting. She likes that also. I see messages from Olivia O'Toole.
Maybe next year we should have pirates do a duel.
Aye, we might have to do that. I've always wanted to let pirates just have real swords and just no rules, just have at it and see what happens. But I don't think people will like it. Olivia O'Toole is asking...
Charge double for tickets.
Olivia. Now, Olivia and her man used to be part of our crew, but life takes on its challenges, and she now has 2 children, I believe. So that shows how far back it's been. But are you coming down for the event? That is my question for you. Let's see who else is there. Captain Morrow, there you are. He just showed up at 8:46. Good to see you. Let's see. Yes, Olivia O'Toole has 2, and that's all she needs. Seems like 8. Yep, I understand. Let's see. Who else is there? Ransom Mayhem. We get what we can, so we take care of others' needs. Yes, you're absolutely right. That is, Captain Ransom Mayhem is part of the Pirates of the White Sands over in Panama City Beach, and they do the same kind of thing that the Seawolves do, that the Swashbucklers do, and several of the other crews that we like to mention throughout the state of Florida. They're all doing good work in one way, shape, or form. Give what you can, take nothing back. That was from Ken Smith. I've changed that a little bit, Ken. I always tell everybody, get what you can, or take what you can, give it all away, because there's quite much more to be taken since we're pirates. And let's see. Nightingale in Florida says I love that the St. Augustine Swashbucklers and the Seawolf Privateers are working together. I do too. I love it also. Olivia O'Toole saw our setup. Very impressive. That's awesome.
Somebody met you in 2010 in Maryland.
In Maryland. That would be Fells Point. I told you, Mayhem, do you remember that we met those pirates back in 2010? Yes, we did. I believe that's probably Grace O'Malley telling me that. I remember that for sure. Is it? Yep. Yep. I remember them. That was Fells Point. That was my first opportunity to be inducted into the the Order of Leviathan, and I missed it by only a point or two. And then in 12, I made it. I've been a part of the Order of Leviathan since 2012, which now is 11 years.
11 years.
11 years. Let's see.
I think she was talking about the jib jab, Captain.
Ah, yeah, I know. Poke yourself in the eye with some chlorine or something. It's terrible. Yeah. Once in a while, Davey hits it out of the park. Sometimes, though, I'm not sure I was represented as a Teletubby properly. It just doesn't work for me. But
Pirate Teletubbies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, you can tell that Davey likes it because he's still sitting there snickering. Yes. I don't think he picked our best colors either. Mason, you don't look good in yellow.
Oh, not at all. Listen, I watched that show growing up, so...
Did you really?
The sun always creeped me out.
Well, that might explain a lot then. Thank you for that admission.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, as I've grown up, I've realized just how, terrifying that show actually is.
Yes. So Olivia says, I think it's about time you relaxed. You're always working 100 times the normal person.
Well, the thing is that when you do what you love, you're never working. I gather that this is something you really like.
I do.
You haven't stopped doing it.
I haven't. I've been doing this now solid since the summer of 2007. I haven't stopped. It is frustrating at times, but it's not always like work. But some of it comes more easier the longer you're in it, because now in some cases when I go into town and I say, hey, I'd like you to be a part of my event, you want to sponsor it or whatever. In the early days when I would do this, people would go, well, I don't know. But nowadays there's a reputation of the Swashbucklers being successful with everything we do. And so, pardon me, and so we have more yeses than nos. And if somebody tells me no, it doesn't bother me. And I'll give you another example. Everything is about marketing and networking. And in the pirate world, it's called parlay. A parlay is making a deal with somebody in which the benefit is for both of you.
It's mutual.
It's a mutual thing. That's what parlay was all about with the pirates. It was a mutual agreement. It wasn't, well, I'm going to get more than you. It's better for me. To hell with you. And I'll give you a perfect example. We have a sponsor coming on board the podcast who paid, and we made an agreement for the amount he paid that he got partial sponsorship for Old City Pirate Festival. And the website we have for Old City Pirate Festival will stay up for an entire year until next year. We won't change it. So anybody that goes to our podcast, our website to see about what we're doing next year, they'll be on there with links to go to them. So they're getting a whole year's worth of advertising. On top of that, they're getting a whole year's worth of advertising, 52 weeks on board podcast. So it's a mutual benefit. I need funds to keep this thing running. People need advertising. And I've worked it out that advertising, basically for a 52-week year of sponsorship, is less than $3 a week.
Yeah.
And we've got 400 subscribers.
No, and Teletubby Pirates, that's something we have to stay behind.
Yes, we're going to have to do Teletubby Pirates on a regular basis, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Davey.
I think I'll pass.
It'll pass.
I actually love it, and it's just something that during this broadcast we could use for so much humor.
Absolutely. those of you that know me know that I did comedy clubs for so long, and I still do. And I truly love comedy because that's how we remember things. Humor is what makes it so we can remember things. So I'm going to ask the question again because I still haven't seen an answer. Olivia O'Toole, are you coming down this weekend? Be really wonderful to see you. We haven't really seen you in ages. So yes, and bringing friends as well. Are you coming for the dinner that night? Or are you bringing the children? Because I want to make sure that if you want to be there for the dinner, send me a private message and let me make sure that I got some tickets in some way, shape, or form set up for you. I see that Ken Smith is bringing me a bottle of Michigan rum. And he says, I'm not above sharing if he be willing. Well, my friend, you bring that bottle to my table while I'm enjoying the show, and I will indeed open that bottle and share it with you. I may not share it with anybody else, but we'll have a shot or two together in loyalty and brotherhood. I see Will the historian said, I am, but I don't know what he am is. But I'm sure he'll say something. Ken Smith says, it's Seven Brothers. Here, I took my glasses off. Now I need to put them back on. Seven Brothers Erie Rum. Well, that'll be a good one. Oh, I've also been told, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm probably going to get at least another bottle of that Utah rum. Brigham Rum. I love the name, Brigham Rum. But I'm going to get another bottle of that. I may have it to show it off. It's great rum. Actually, before you get out of here, I'll find the bottle and let you try it. It's really good rum. It really is. I'm bringing the powder monkeys, but I can try to get a sitter. Aye. Will you let me know what you want to do there, Olivia? And let's see what we can do. Let's see. Bringing friends as well. Scarlet Deerheart. I've been quiet tonight because I'm working on cleaning up the Florida Pirate Republic banner, so maybe I can get one printed that we can hang somewhere. We're going to run a line out across the park and put every crew flag of people that support or help us along the way. Swashbucklers flag, the Podcast flag, the Order Leviathan flag, the Seawolf flag, the crew from the Elks Lodge. I think they're the crew of the 829. Don't shoot me if I got those numbers wrong. My apologies to now.
Do we get one of these flags?
All right, we're going to try to do some. Do we have one of their flags yet?
No, I was asking, do we get...
We can get one of their flags. We'll fly that one. Any of the pirates, the crews, or the supporters of St. Augustine, Swashbucklers, and Old City Pirate Fest, if you want to have one of your flags displayed, why, bring it along. If you're already a part of the event, then we're going to display your flag. If you're not a part of the event in any way, shape, or form, Captain Mayhem may tell you have to pay a small tribute to put your flag up. But that tribute goes to our charities. It's only fair, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what we're doing.
I like that idea.
Aye. What's that?
I like that idea.
Yes, a small tribute going into our charities. Let's see. Ken Smith, Zachary. I'd not tried it yet myself, but I thought it would make a good one to bring since some Florida rums can't be had here and vice versa. Absolutely, Ken. A rum that I can't get somewhere else, if you bring it to me, we'll taste it together. And if it's good, well, we'll let people know. If it's bad, we just won't talk about it. Aye. Is the Friday night event a come as you are or pirate gear? Actually, I've had some of the crew ask that too, Ken. And I've told the crew, because we're spending the first 3 or 4 hours of the night setting up, it's a come as you are. Mm-hmm. I don't expect any of the pirates to be dressed in their pirate gear for Friday night. And Ruben and his band is not a pirate band. They're just there to play and have everybody drink and enjoy the music and socialize. And so it is come as you are. You do not have to wear your garb for that night. If you want to, by all means do. But it's entirely up to you. And I do need to make sure I put that on the Facebook page.
And I need more excuses to wear my garb.
Oh, Will, the historian, said he's still online. That's what the I am is.
Oh.
And is Friday night there. So it looks like we've made it to the end of our questions and comments. And as you can tell, I'm losing my voice a bit. Let's have a little more juice with some rum in it. You want some rum in yours, or you good?
Absolutely.
All right, well.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to pour as we're talking about treasures on the horizon. Ladies and gentlemen,
Cheers.
Today is January 23rd, which is the last minute talk of Old City Pirate Fest. January 30th, we have no guest at this point. but we will be talking about the after party of Old City Pirate Fest if we don't just play some music and sit down and relax. February is very open. I have about 6 different people that want to come in on the show, and we're looking at it. Sheriff Hardwick, my good friend T.A. Burrows out in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm really trying to get Scott Grimm to come aboard. He is a wonderful pirate and probably one of the most talented improv artists that I can say that I've worked with. Him and I worked on a play together back in the early days of the Oak Tree. We'd love to have him. I'm looking at trying to get the guys from the 904 Now. That would be Davey, Pete, and Troy. Spyglass Travel wants to join us, and the coordinators of the Celtic Fest. I think I'm going to be able to try to get them on, and the Lions Fest. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, February, March, we're going to be pretty busy. I've just not been able to sit down and pay much attention to getting all the guests because I spent all my time working on Old City Pirate Fest. But that's about to come to an end, and I can have a cigar and relax on Sunday night. So there you have it. What else do we have, Mr. Davey? With gratitude, these are the sponsors of the show we have right now. Shiver Me Pictures, Dick's Wings, Ancient City Sirens, Paper and Strings, the Colonial Oak Music Park, and of course, the Pirate and Treasure Museum. Who will be next on this banner? We'd love to have you. Sponsorship for the podcast starts every February from now on. We used to think that we would do it starting in January, but we've moved it to February because we spend so much time working on Old City Pirate Fest. So sponsorship begins in February, so it goes from February to February. We hope you'll join us. Anything else that I've missed? Oh yes, here's the personnel of the Captain's Quarters podcast, because ladies and gentlemen, it takes a crew to run a ship. It truly does. William Mayhem Productions, there's Davey Longwood and Hellfire Henley, the Powder Monkey, and of course those people from the Swashbucklers that help us out too. It always takes a crew to run this ship. We thank every one of them. Patreon, if you want to sponsor our show with just a small bit of money on a monthly basis coming off of one of your credit cards, we have 2 levels, Powder Monkey, which is $1, and First Mate, which is $5 a month. Very cheap. We get that money, and then on a quarterly basis, we go and download it for Patreon, and it helps take care of the fees that we have to pay to run this show. We're at 401 subscribers, but I think that's different. What's that?
404. We gained 3 more.
404 subscribers. Remember what I said, ladies and gentlemen, back in August, we were at, just under 200. And I swore that we would get higher and higher, and we did by the first of the year. We hit 400, so I'm very happy. 6 sponsors, 400 subscribers, 13 Patreon supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing well, and we can only keep doing better. But we can only do it with your help, so we hope you will. Captain's Quarters Podcast 21 at gmail.com. That's for us, for you to contact us, and for us to send out messages. So we hope you'll be a part of it. Have I missed anything?
When this gets to YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and share.
Absolutely. We got to have that like, subscribe, and share.
We have to get pirate with the algorithm so the podcast grows.
Yes. And that's the YouTube thing right there, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it or not, we always like to give our guests a gift, and it's time to give our guest here a gift. Katie and Alan, I believe we've already taken care of with other events, but we have our poker chip. Ladies and gentlemen, our poker chip has our symbol on one side, and it has our sign-off code on the other, and it's attached to a key. The key is the key to history and education, but in reality, it's a bottle opener. That's pretty cool. And we present that to you.
Thank you.
As a gift.
Thank you for having me. You know, as participating in your podcast has been an honor, even though I'm part of the crew. But it's just amazing. It's learning about how far you guys go into helping the foster children. I wasn't aware of that, and that to me is a game changer because. The children are the future.
Yes,
and
they are.
And the future is the one thing we could change, and we're changing it for the better between the Seawolves and yourself. That's
it helps a lot
purpose.
To have a good purpose, and our purpose is
Thank
to
you
help
for
children.
having me.
And we appreciate it. And if you want to have some really good food, there's still a few tickets left. Not many. But if you come to the gate and want to bribe me, I might give up my dinner for somebody with a good bribe.
And you mentioned earlier that I'm not doing much of the of Captain Scalawags. Part of the reason is because Captain Scalawag needs to move into a restaurant, and in the process of doing that, Captain Scalawag needs to become the swashbuckler.
Yes, and we got to work on that.
And that's a project that we're doing. Captain Scalawag's mobile operation, which will become the swashbuckler, will be exclusive for swashbucklers event. Any events that we do that as a crew that require food either for the crew or to sell to the public or to offer the public, that's how you're gonna get to taste St. Augustine's and Florida premier pirate menu.
All right, we're looking forward to that. As always, everything's on the horizon, and I believe it was Jack Sparrow that said, "Now bring me that horizon." So that's always good words to honor by. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we've reached the end of the show. Mr. Davey, kick her off.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always, we can't do it without you. So cheers to each and every one of you. We thank you for being a part of the show. And that's a wrap.